Hi, this is Delegate Tim Manchin from the 50th District, almost all of Marion County, bringing you another update from the legislature. Last time we talked a little bit about the 4th Street Bridge Replacement Project. Now I want to talk a little bit about some of the legislation we've been talking about. One of the most important pieces of legislation for me would be for us to find a way to increase the homestead exemption for our seniors. Presently, we have a $20,000 homestead exemption. That means that the first $20,000 in value of a senior or disabled person's real property taxes are not taxed to them. This was passed over almost 40 years ago and has not been increased. Obviously, our home values and property values have skyrocketed since then. Our older folks living on fixed incomes are having an increasingly difficult time to come up with the money to pay their taxes. Unfortunately, for every $10,000 increase in the homestead exemption, it costs the state roughly about $25 million. And the problem is that with our population, it's expected that that would cost more in years to come. Notwithstanding that, though, we have moved forward because we might not be able to do this on a statewide basis. In our Constitutional Revision Committee, I'm happy to report that we recently considered a bill that would allow counties to have the flexible option of enacting their own homestead exemption increase up to $50,000. This, of course, would, number one, we have to pass a constitutional amendment at the state level, which means the legislature has to approve such a measure by 2/3. The governor has to sign it, and then the people of West Virginia have to approve it by a majority vote. But if that were to happen, then each county could look at their own financial circumstances, and they could determine whether they might be able to afford to increase their senior homestead exemption and by how much. Of course, that would have to be voted on as well by the county. But it sure would be nice in a lot of places where the county commission feels that they've got some room in property taxes to go ahead and be able to increase those homestead exemptions. On another note, that bill particularly could or might not pass, but I've been working on another committee that's considering trying to do away with the inventory tax in West Virginia, which is seen as being one of the last major hurdles to trying to increase jobs in the state, because we have a regressive tax in that regard, but that also is part of the Constitution. I've suggested this week that we do not only an inventory tax reduction, but that we also link that to a homestead exemption increase, so that if we're going to do something like that, let's help both sectors of our people, both in terms of creating jobs for our young people as well as also helping our older people who are living on fixed incomes. So that's another big project that I continue to work on, and hopefully we're going to get something done that's been at the top of my list for the last 10 years when I went down to the legislature. We just haven't been able to get it done yet.